Morning, everybody. It is 7:48. Martin Howard is here, and he's a typewriter collector. I have to be honest with you, Martin. When I first heard typewriter collector, I thought, well, I don't get it. Aren't they all kind of basically the same thing? It is stunning how different they are when it was first coming out.
Thank you. Most people, including myself, before I started to collect 15 years ago, didn't realize the variety of these early machines, and most have not been seen for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And
can you show us the first one?
Certainly. This is the second typewriter to come onto the world market. It's called a Calligraph.
The second ever.
The second ever, anywhere in the world. The first one was made by Remington and Sons in 1873, and it wasn't until 8 years later, in 1880, that competition arrived, and here it was. And over the next 20 years, the competition went wild.
Yeah, well, take a look at this. Now, here, this doesn't look so different from
I'll show you what's strange
think.
about this one, though, Liza. If you push a key, the type bars strike the underside of the roller, so you cannot see what you're typing. To see what you've typed, you have to lift the roller up.
Oh, can you do it one more time
for
us? So we hit here, and it's coming up underneath.
Underneath. And in fact, I'll just quickly explain where the QWERTY keyboard came from.
Yeah.
The type bars are hung in a 360-degree circle here.
Yeah.
And when you strike them, they come up and hit the roller. Common letter phrases such as T and H were positioned opposite 180 degrees, so they wouldn't clash. So when you went quickly, you wouldn't get the bumping.
We have so many. We have to keep moving along, so I don't want to miss these.
This is the first European typewriter, 1882, and it looks more like a cheese slicer, but it is a typewriter.
How does this one work?
Pick up the handle there and move it back and forth this way. It's a bit hard backwards. On the underside of the blade, under here, are all the letters. So when you push down, it makes the imprint and the carriage moves.
Pretty neat. And what about this one?
This is the world's first index typewriter. An index typewriter is a machine that has no keys at all. You have to select the letters one at a time, and you move this pointer around. So slow. They advertise 30 words a minute, which sounds very ambitious. I think more likely 15 words a minute. This was also the world's first portable typewriter.
Did these sell?
This sold quite well, surprisingly. They went on to make other models, same basic design. It was quite successful.
This doesn't look remotely like a typewriter.
It doesn't, does it? No. It's the third one on the world market, made by a New York watchmaker, and you can see the influence in the dial there.
How do you turn it?
Turn that dial, Liza.
Oh.
And then when you've got the letter you want, it's push right down. Oh, that's good. That's the spacer. You can push the black handle down. Right
push
down.
that?
There you go.
And that's how you choose?
Yes.
Wow. This one, this is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Look at the inlay.
That's inlaid mother of pearl.
Wow.
And this is historically important because it's the first typewriter to have a single type element like the IBM golf ball. And you can see it right there. I'll just make it come up a bit higher. And instead of type bars, you had all the letters on a cylinder like that. Very efficient. This is 1884. So it was a successful design, but it went extinct and didn't reappear until many years later. A collector's favorite, that one.
This one, again, is something I had no idea anything like this existed before.
That's right. You point to the letter you like, and then I'll help you out there.
Down.
And then you push the key here.
To choose. Again, so slow.
So slow, but actually this was quite good in that you could change the alphabet there. It would pop out. You could also change the type cylinder, so it was good for many languages. And it sold well throughout the world. This is the German machine.
How many years would this have been on the market for?
Surprisingly, it came out quite late, 1902, and it was on the market till the early 1930s, which is quite extraordinary.
That long?
Yes, it was an odd one to survive.
What about this one?
This one is from the 1890s, and I'll just quickly mention the price point. The full keyboard machines were an awful lot of money. They were $100 a piece, and you could buy a horse-drawn carriage at the time for $40 to $70, so it was a big expenditure.
No kidding.
So that's one reason you might buy a machine that looks like this. It's sold for $5. Index machine, similar to the Hall over here. And you select one letter at a time and then push down.
That seemed to be the case. A lot of people thought that was the way to go, I guess, with the selection of 1, 1, 1.
That's a good question. They did, because touch typing hadn't come in yet. Touch typing didn't become recognized as the way to go until the latter part of the 19th century. So even with the keyboard machines, people used to hunt and peck.
Yeah. It took a while. When did we start doing it the way we do it now?
1890s, late 1890s. Prior to that, people didn't know how, didn't recognize the importance.
What's happening with this one?
This is the world's first stenograph machine, and it was used in court. for recording what was said, and also in the office. It used a series of 5 dashes, and that was invented by an American. So the 5 dashes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the left hand, and then the same for the right hand.
Same for the right.
You'd go operate like this, left hand, right hand. This machine is also from the 1890s. Go ahead, Liza.
Yeah,
have a
this one
push.
doesn't. Well,
So here's another way of
coming up back here.
coming to the top of the roller. Yes. This is the first typewriter to have a shift lock. Let's see if I got it the right way around.
Yeah.
There you go. It's locked in uppercase, and you push that and it releases.
Yeah, all right. And as we go along, we have 1 minute left.
This is a beautiful typewriter. This is a Hammond. It's got ebony keys in a mahogany
Oh,
case.
my.
And when you push the keys, there's a type shuttle that spins, if you can see right in there. And a hammer hits from the back, so regardless of how hard you push on the keys, you're going to get an even impression.
Oh.
It was very successful also.
Well, that's neat. There's always a little something they could take from each machine, even if it wasn't that practical.
Absolutely.
To put
and
into the
and patent
final.
laws had a lot to do with the variety that you're seeing.
Yeah.
This typewriter was the first one to use the daisy wheel. It's from 1890. The daisy wheel is right behind that wheel that I'm pointing to. So you'd select the letter you want with this pointer,
Yep.
and then you'd push down. You can see the little hammer pushing the daisy wheel into position. Now, the daisy wheel didn't come back until the 70s and 80s, 1970s and 80s, but here it was in 1890.
Should we jump along to your final one?
Certainly.
Okay.
This is another collector's favorite. It's
Okay.
called the Lambert. And go ahead and push down on any of those buttons.
Oh,
That's right.
oh.
This
How's
was
that
invented by an American. It took him 20 years to do this, and it was a labor of love. Frank Lambert out of New York. That's the spacer in the middle. And I'll
Yeah.
just show the back because it's got some beautiful
Yep.
decal work on the back.
It is. They're gorgeous, gorgeous machines and heavy. Let's see. That's heavy. Wow. Incredible.
Beautiful quality.
Can we squeeze in maybe a couple? Let's try to squeeze
Certainly,
in the
this,
final ones.
that's a good one to talk about.
Yeah.
This was invented by a Canadian,
Oh.
Reverend Thomas Oliver from Winnipeg. He did go down to the States and invented this typewriter there, but it is a Canadian invention by a Canadian fellow. Go ahead and push one of the keys and see what happens.
Oh,
So here's another way of typing.
snaps right down in the middle. They're
And-
beautiful.
It's got a double shift. I'll just show you that. There's 3 rows of keys, so we're used to a single shift. On here, each button has 3 functions.
Yeah. How amazing. Martin, thank you so much. Martin Howard,
Pleasure,
thanks for
Liza.
bringing
Thank
your
you so much.
collection. I know this is just part of it. It's very, very interesting. Thank you.
Pleasure to share it with you.
Here's Janet Levi. They're just